PLP leader says he will serve a full term in office if elected prime minister.
And allow the circumstances of our times to determine when I go.
So will Prime Minister Ingram if he's re-elected. We take you on a tour of the new Abaco Airport Terminal and the Carifta Swimming Championships underway here in New Providence. We take a look at the preparations.
Betty Canning Swim Center went through a lot of renovations over the last year and a half.
I'm Nakia DeVoe and this is NB12 Weekend. Back to NB12 Weekend. Tonight we're joining you from the Betty Kelly Canning National Aquatic Center, home of the 2012 Carifta Swimming Championships. Thanks for joining us. Leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, Christie, says he's confident that his party will win the next general election. And he says when that happens, he will carry out the full term as Prime Minister. Well, we sat down with the official leader of the opposition about his party's chances and his future.
I'm going to be elected and I'm going to carry out my term and allow the circumstances of our times to determine when I go and when I demit office, public life. Yes, if I were to lose, and I'm not contemplating that at all. In fact, it's difficult for me to even think about that. Losing? Didn't you hear me say losing is not an option? We don't think about defeat. We don't think about getting out. We're going for it.
Christie has said on several occasions during his party's campaign that the PLP is ahead, and he has no doubt that his party will win the 2012 general election. But Christie said the same thing heading into the 2007 general election when the Free National Movement won at the polls, taking 23 seats, kicking the Christie administration out of government. So what's different this time around? Well, Christie says the PLP is.
I believe I have assembled a team of young men and women, second to none. I believe you could go and look at the history of party politics and you will not find a team of men and women assembled with the caliber that I have assembled on this occasion. I believe it's a no-brainer that when you look, I believe, and the elections will be won on this, when you go out to Southern Shores and you look at Ken Dorset, or you go and look at Danny Johnson, or you go and look at Renwood Wells, or you go and look at Dr. Rollins, so you go and look at Dr. Major, I believe people, the Bahamian people, will see men and women of the future.
The opposition leader also weighed in on the record number of voters. 172,000 Bahamian citizens registered to vote this year, the highest number in the country's history. Christie said while all parties did a good job encouraging supporters to vote, the number is a clear indication that Bahamians are fed up with the Ingram administration.
You have an additional motivation when you want to vote against somebody to change them. And so you have an additional motivation to get registered to do that. I'm going to pay them back, so to speak. So that happened. You know, I benefited from that. I've been hurt by that over the many years I've been in public life. The final point is that I actually believe that you're going to find a result in this election similar to what has happened in other countries in the region coming out of recession, that people are anxious to change the government.
According to Christie, the number of people who did not register to vote on time is a cause for concern. Scores of Bahamians showed up at the Parliamentary Registration Department on Tuesday to register to vote, but it was too late. Well, before the Free National Movement's last national convention in 2008, there was much speculation regarding whether the party's leader, Prime Minister Hubert Ingram, would step down from his position. Well, obviously he hasn't, and from the looks of things, he doesn't intend to do so anytime soon. In fact, when asked by reporters recently if he intends to serve a full term or just stick around to ensure strong support for the F&M during the election, the Prime Minister said this.
That's the deal. That's the deal. I'm asking the public of the Bahamas to vote for me as leader of the party.
Well, PLP leader Perry Christie telling scores of party supporters last night why he believes Ingram does not deserve the chance to serve another term as prime minister. At a mass rally at Clifford Park last night, Christie said he was bringing Ingram before the court of public opinion, where he charged the prime minister for what he called his failures and misdeeds, and for being what he believes is the worst prime minister in the country's history.
I've come here tonight to charge him with endangering the future of our country. I've come here tonight to charge him with reckless disregard of the interests of the Bahamian people. I've come here to charge him with looking out for foreigners, but when it comes down to you, he looks the other way. Listen, I've come here tonight to charge him with abandoning you, for neglecting you, for mistreating you, for failing you. How do you find Hubert Ingram guilty or not guilty?
The PLP leader also fired back at the prime minister, who on Friday blasted Christie for allowing PLPs to take down F&M signs. Christie said the F&Ms are doing the same, and he had this stern message for the alleged perpetrators.
I'm only going to say tonight, I'm saying 2 words, maybe 3. Cease and desist. I said what I have to say. I ask you to cease and desist. You will not hear from me anymore on that. You'll just see.
The PLP is in Grand Bahama tonight for a mass rally at the old portion control parking lot. The F&M is also on that island for their mass rally at the Sunrise Shopping Center, and the Democratic National Alliance holding an economic summit at the Aulukaya Resort in Grand Bahama this evening. Well, on to news from the crime beat. The murder count rose to 37 this morning after a man who has been fighting for his life in hospital for the past 2 weeks lost that battle. Police say 35-year-old Quentin Rutherford, or Kemp Road, succumbed to gunshot injuries in the Princess Margaret Hospital around 1:30 this morning. Rutherford was shot on Sunday, April 1st in the parking lot of a nightclub on West Bay Street. He was one of 4 people shot in the incident that occurred during a fight. 20-year-old Akio Francis Burrows died shortly after the shooting. 2 teenagers, a male and female, survived the incident. Well, the U.S. Border Patrol and Palm Beach Police still searching for anyone connected to a 28-foot Boston whaler they found yesterday morning that they believe came from the Bahamas. That boat washed ashore before 8 a.m. Friday in Palm Beach, Florida. Patrol agent in charge Frank Miller told Florida media that the boat was likely used for human smuggling. Palm Beach police say someone noticed the boat around 7:40 yesterday morning, and they searched the area until 10 a.m. They found a lot of footprints leading away from the boat, but did not see anyone. Well, that was the second time this week that U.S. Border Patrol and Palm Beach police had to handle a boat landing from the Bahamas. A Bahamian man was charged in a Florida court Thursday with importing more than 100 kilograms of marijuana. According to a federal criminal complaint, Lynch Jones, who said he lives with his U.S. citizen wife in Fort Lauderdale, was spotted by fire rescue crews Wednesday morning wandering the beach on North Ocean Boulevard near a 31-foot Concept Center console vessel containing $342,000 worth of drugs. U.S. Border Patrol agents searching the boat removed 74 packages of marijuana. Palm Beach officers allege he transported the drugs from Freeport. Jones allegedly told agents that he was forced to bring the drugs over from the Bahamas, or else he would be killed by a Jamaican drug dealer who he owed money to.